everyone, it's Sam, and this video we're going to do a little bit of troubleshooting. So what happens when you go to turn your bike on and it's not turning on? I'm going to take a bit of a break here and I'm going to throw across to Alexander in our service centre, and he's going to step you through a couple of things just to look out for that will help you get up and running again.
All right, so never fun when your bike won't turn on. You know, you've loaded them up, you've driven 3 hours down to the rail trail, ready for a good day of adventure. Now, most of the time, no reason to panic. We can usually sort this out. So I'm gonna run through a couple of the troubleshooting steps to try and get this resolved for you. Important things though, before you leave for that adventure, take your key just in case, because if that battery's not in correctly, you can't do anything without your key. And we've seen it before, don't forget the battery. So with your battery, really important to make sure that it's in there and installed correctly, in the right orientation, all the way seated in, locked into place. It's entirely possible to put them in only part way, and then they're not gonna work. First step is just to remove the cover if you have one. Sometimes they're part of the battery on some bikes, other times they're separate. Quick little tip to make sure we get this the right way is that our release catch is always gonna be at the same end as the key, and it's gonna face away from the bike. So I'm gonna gently install this. It's not a wrestling match. You wanna be gentle with all of these components. I'll find the bottom, there we are, sitting nicely. Flip my key over, and we'll get 1 click as the secondary catch goes in and 2 clicks as the key comes over. Now we can take our key out and put our cover back on. After that, the majority of issues we actually see come from up the top here. So on Smart System bikes, all of the cables nicely replaceable. If you break one, we don't have to replace the whole controller, but it does mean that we've got a few connections here that can unplug themselves. So most of the time I see a bike that doesn't turn on, it's because one of these cables has disconnected. So to check your connections, first thing I usually do is actually just pull them entirely out. You don't want to be pulling off the cables, you want to be pulling off the plug itself. So when you take them out, you'll see they have a little white line on them that tells you which way around they should be. There'll be the matching white line on the receiving port, both in the system controller and the kiosk display. I know that it's straight down on this one, so you don't want to force these at all, but when they're all lined up, they should go in nice and easy. And in that last little bit, you get a little bit of a pop as you push it in. So good to check the one into the system controller as well as the 2 into the back of your display mount if you have one. Same thing goes for your displays. If they're not seated on there correctly, that can cause some problems. And if your bike's been in storage for a while, you haven't ridden it for a while, there is a little battery inside of your system controller that tells the whole unit, hey, wake up, it's time to go. If that tiny battery's flat, it can't say wake up. That's all right. There's another backup option. So all of the batteries with Bosch have a power key directly on them. In the case of a Powertube and the Focus Aventura here, it's just down the bottom in the corner. So if I reach in and press that button there, that will tell the system to wake up instead of the system controller. After which, hopefully, system controller should just charge itself up by the bike being turned on. All right, so we've just got to the trailhead. A lot of us transport our bikes with the screen and the battery off. No problem, we come, put our screen, put our battery back on. If you've gotten a little bit of dust or dirt on the connections here while it's being transported, that's fine too. Just give them a bit of a wipe off before you reinstall everything. So I'll put my display on. After that, have fun. Time to go for a ride. Hope you enjoy, hope that helps, and we'll see you at your next service.